Starting off from the post office next to the Royal Bell in Church Square. Behind the post office there's an old abandoned post sorting office, which is quite a large area, and that's at the moment under consultation for becoming a travel lodge.
Land south of the High Street, well, it's a really hot topic locally and has been rumbling on and on for years and years. But the ideal, and certainly as far as the town council is concerned, would be to have a strip running all the way through, a road if you like, from Church Square to Duncan Drive to join up where the car park now is and run out through where the fire station is.
So I feel like if we develop on that without it being part of a wider plan for that section of land, then really are we cutting off other options for the future? There's been talk about another high street or another space equal to our high street, and that would be incredibly beneficial for Leighton Buzzard. So I would worry about whether or not we're cutting that off by building something just simply by itself because the opportunity has come up right now. I know that there have been lots of things going around, some of them at the CBC level, some of them at the town council, around the idea of developing that land. And people are talking about having maybe a larger high street or bigger units. We could attract maybe slightly bigger shops to our high street.
So I'm familiar with the Travelodge application. One of our studios, Southside Studios, has 2 active studios in the town centre right now. So one of them is here, this is Waterborne Works. And the other one is we call the Old Iron Works, which is immediately adjacent to the Travelodge site. So if that did go up, it would tower over where our other studio is. I think it's the right thing in the wrong place.
I think it's the wrong place to put it because of the scale in that small space, lack of parking, an impact on the neighbouring pubs and houses.
The present proposal for the hotel is incorrect. I think the hotel is a good idea, but not where it is. It's an outskirts of town, lots of parking, needs to be like a bus route to get that in. But the area itself should be something for the town as a whole.
We are not anti-development and we are not anti-travel lodge. We simply feel that this would be completely the wrong thing in the wrong place.
It should be like in one of the really easily accessed industrial parks or something that's not quite such an intense footprint on the town. If the Travelodge were to go where it's proposed right now, it would shut down a lot of what could potentially be done on the land south of the High Street.
You know, you have Travelodge buildings go up with different materials. This is an historic market town. It's grown organically throughout the decades, throughout the centuries. It's not like a Milton Keynes where you can pop it up in 5 minutes and it's got no history. You can do what you want there. But this is very much a local community with a lot of history behind it. You put a Travelodge here, what does that say? You know, are we just becoming a commuter town? Are we losing that community aspect?
What happens when we have events going on in the town, such as the May Day Fair, or when we have Remembrance Sunday, or when we have the Christmas festival weekend and Church Square is either closed off or severely restricted to traffic?
Well, unfortunately, the old sorting office is kind of a moot point because it's privately owned.
That space has been derelict for donkey's years and really should be put to good use for the residents of Leighton Lindsay.
I think there's better uses could be made of that, of the land. More for obviously social use would be better. A community hall or something like that would be fine.
The arts community, and there are several artistic groups, for example, Leighton Buzzard Art Society and of course the Peppercorn, as well as Creative Buzz, are all interested in having a purpose-built or at least a readily available space to do their thing.
There is nowhere to have meetings or do creative things unless it's a school or pubs and things, which are great, but they're not suitable for everything. And we need somewhere permanent. We deserve it.
It's a no-brainer. It's arts, community and health provision together, centrally located, affordable, and something that the community feels like they have a stake in.
We need a strategy for it. I think just building one thing, whatever that thing may be, at the moment the plan is a travel lodge, solely on a piece of land that could be connected to something else that could be good for Leighton Buzzard in the future without a strategy. I think that's something we need to think about, and if that's, you know, CBC's job to have that strategy, then I think that should be taken into consideration.
Ultimately, it really depends on Central Bedfordshire Council. They own a lot of the parcels of land along that stretch.
It's an amazing asset because of all the potential, but it can be very frustrating to see nothing happen.